It's a thrill to go into the middle of the forest and inside a bunker and dance the whole night, and especially when it's not allowed.
Every week there was 3 different raves in the forest. I felt the need of documenting this moment, an historical particular moment that I was living, and I had the privilege to see it firsthand.
Since I moved in Berlin, I was used to go to secret parties, even more than going to clubs. And once we had the lockdown and it was not more possible to party, I decided to repeat what I was used to.
The secret raves often have like this festival feel about them. Only there's no supplies out there. There's like nowhere to buy food or drinks. You just got to go with a bag full of water and supplies and hope that you don't run out of anything.
We all have to take care of each other because we're out here alone. Everyone has to be responsible for everyone has to be respectful, and everyone needs to have a good time. I think the pandemic has also, in a way, like removed a lot of barriers that traditional clubs had, especially in terms of access.
We are not selecting people. Everybody is welcome, and we are giving the opportunity to those who would never get in normal clubs.
I think it's very important for young people to have the spaces where they can express themselves, especially in a time of pandemic when we are closing everyone in closed spaces and all the connection that people have are with their mobile phones.
I had very dark thoughts in those times. I was not able to stay home alone again. It was either like becoming crazy for real, having a mental breakdown like a real one, or meeting people and do normal things.
The lockdown was too much, ultimately. We had a solid 7 months in Berlin of absolutely nothing. It started to get to the point where I realised, okay, the numbers are going down, we've done our lockdown, people are getting vaccinated. I'd already had my vaccine at this point. I was like, there's no harm in people enjoying themselves at this point.
We have to see that our mental health is very important, and for some of us, we don't really have family. And this is the only way to communicate and to be surrounded with people that we love.
The illegal parties or whatever are still very much bring your negative COVID test with your name and identification. So just as they would regulate it in clubs, they're still regulating it outdoors.
So yeah, we were reckless, we were still partying during Corona, but everybody was tested.
If you have precautions in place, if you say that there is a limit to this party, everyone who comes has to come with a negative corona test, then how is this different than people traveling in a public transportation every day to go to work? So I think rather than ostracizing these spaces and these people, it is important to recognize the importance of these spaces and these communities and the role that they play in people's lives. People who are struggling often find solace, community, friendship, love, companionship at these raves.
The club scene changed a lot. Tickets increased, or at least the price of the tickets increased so much.
You've got to sit there, a group of you, all on different devices, trying to get your tickets, and the majority of people don't get a ticket.
I think that has definitely made it tougher for people to go to clubs, and maybe that's why also these private, independent spaces are popping up in forests, because there people can just get together, play their own music, bring their own stuff and have a good time.
People that were organizing this kind of rave will or are already ending up organizing legal parties into normal venues. Now going back to club, it feels like we learned a lot from these times, and we can just bring them back into a normal and safe environment.